I've created one of the kitiest builds in Albion Online for Stalker Corrupted Dungeon, and it's just pure kiting with your opponents literally just melting in front of you. I'm talking about the Life Curse. It was bugged up until yesterday's patch, but it's no longer bugged. That's why we're creating a video. Do not be bug abusers in Albion Online, ladies and gents. Use the build because it's good, not because it's bugged. So let's look at the Life Curse build that I have created. Again, this is a full kite build, so most of the time you are going to be moving backwards only for like maybe the first half of the fight. The second fight you are going to be chasing. And the good thing about this is you have the Vile Curse, which deals so much damage even if they are far from you. Now, speaking of the Life Curse, your Cursed Sickle deals 56 magical damage, and each stack deals 229 magical damage. That's your Vile Curse. To those who do not know, this is how the sickle works. It goes to you and back to your original position, stacking your opponent by up to 2 times. So it's both ways, right? One way, two way. Each time they get hit, they do get Vile Curse. There's the Vile Curse over here. Deals that. There you go. It deals damage when they get touched by the sickle, and it does apply one Vile Curse charge per hit on your opponent. Okay, and the Vile Curse deals 229 magical damage over 8 seconds. Now you'll be thinking, 229 magical damage, but it's over 8 seconds. How does that work? Is that good? Is that bad? It's amazing, actually, because when you do stack it, it stacks up to 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they take damage per stack of 229. So think of it as 800, 900 damage over 8 seconds. So it is over, if it has 4 stacks, over 100 damage per second, which is pretty good because it stacks up to 8 seconds. So you can just run away, kite, and you are still dealing damage to them. So that's your Q ability. Your W ability is going to be your Armor Piercer, one of the longest range skill in the game. It deals 352 damage and decreases their damage resistance by 48 for 4 seconds. Again, one of the rangiest Ws or skills in the game. 22-meter range on this one. So this is where the kiting begins. What you want to do really when you're starting your engage, most of the time you want to tag them with your W. Something that you need to be aware of though, your W is very, very thin. Extremely thin. It's like that. So you have to be accurate with that. The good thing about it is it doesn't have any cast time. It's almost instantaneous to where it goes. So wherever your cursor is, you just press wherever your opponent, you press W and then boom. Instant damage, shreds the resistance, and you kite with your Q ability. Moving on to our Enfeebled Blades. This was the E ability that was bugged for about a week or so until it was detected. It would slow unintentionally and it would deal significant damage in between the first and second tick. But now it no longer does that. That's why we're using it. This is uninterruptible. You cannot be reflected as well. And it also decreases the damage dealt by your enemy for 5% each hit and stacks up to 5 times for 3 seconds. So this means if you hit them 5 times, their overall damage gets reduced up to 25% and it deals 149 magical damage every 0.7 seconds. This is how it goes. You do that, you are uninterruptible while doing this. You don't really use this for damage though. Look at that. The damage is only 546 after resistances. So you don't really use this for damages. You use this for purge. Okay? Because this purges every single time. Every single hit, every 0.75 seconds, it purges all the buffs on your enemies. This has really high cooldown at 42 seconds. Yeah, it's just ridiculous when it comes to cooldowns. You don't really want to use this as your main damage dealer. Your damage dealers are your Qs and your Ws for when you're kiting. But this is really good for purging like Cleric Robes, Hunter Hoods, Inferno Shields. Things that you can actually, if they're not there, you're going to win, like Mercenary Jackets. Things like that. Most of the time, you want to purge their robe if this has a purgeable effect, and use this if they are just standing there. Use that like that. If they get out of the circle, just cancel right away, because you don't really get any benefits if they're not getting hit, and you can just go Q and W while running away. Speaking of running away, we are actually going to use the Sandals of Purity in this one. If you have watched some of my other videos about this, the Sandals of Purity, you already know, you are going to hover. Hover, 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 hover. Every 7 seconds, you have movement speed of 60%, and you're immune to roots, immune to slows. So the ray of light of the bow, the splitting slash of the sword, any slowing abilities, you are immune to that as long as you have this active. Now, it doesn't cleanse you of roots and slows. If you're already rooted, if you're already slowed, you're not actually going to cleanse that. But if you are using this, you can never be slowed, you can never be rooted, and that's good. Super, super low cooldown. This is how you kite, and this is also how you chase your opponent as well. Okay, I forgot about the passive. The passive that you want to use for your Life Curse is the third passive, which every spell cast increases your damage dealt by 10% for 4 seconds. You can honestly even go with this additional movement speed, but since you already have hover with the aggression passive that increases your damage as well, might as well go for your damage. You're kiting. You're not going to be able to normal attack with your energetic. You're not going to be able to normal attack with your Bane. You don't really need hit and run. So the default here is every 5 spell cast increases your damage by 10% for 4 seconds. The rest of the build though is kind of typical. Your Hunter Hood on your Retaliate for 85%, Reflect and damage resistance for 3 seconds. You're going to use your Balanced Mind here as well. For your jacket, there are some cases where you want to use your Bloodlust, but I found that it's not really as effective as when the Life Curse was bugged. So most of the time, I just default to Inferno Shield. Similar to your Hunter Hood, increases your damage resistance for 8 seconds this time, and only reflects 38% of the incoming damage as magical damage. So most of the time, you're going to use this. I did troll a little bit against a dual sword, and you will see that in one of the videos where I used Bloodlust and I used this, which is the Curse Beam. It deals damage every 0.5 seconds, so it triggers this super, super quickly. It was a troll, test troll, I would say, but it actually worked. But most of the time, you are going to use your Inferno Shield. For additional damage on this one, the Moisak. The Moisak increases your magical and physical damage. Obviously, we're only taking advantage of the magical here. Magical attack bonus by 8.8%. And ability bonus as well by 8.8%. But it does decrease your energy cost reduction. So this is double negative. This means you are going to use more in your skills. So instead of just using 75 here, you're going to use more, basically. You're using more energy in exchange for higher damage. Since we are using a lot of energy, the Limherscape. The Limherscape comes in clutch with the energy reserve, which taps into your energy reserve in restoring 80% of your max energy over 9 seconds. So you don't have to worry about running out of energy. You have this for that. With the damage as well, we are going to go with the Beef Stew. This is a kite build. We are going to fully take advantage of all of the damages that your curse stacks and your armor piercer is going to deal. Once again, you're not going to use this for damage, but for purging, we are going to get 15% more damage for the meat stew effect on the beef stew. On your potions, the typical one, bring healing potions and gigantify potions. Swap between the two. Most of the time, you are going to use the healing potions because you are kiting away. So there's that. Again, this is I would say an off meta build. This you won't see this often in Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, but it's pretty fun. We have been having fun kiting people around, and just whenever they're low, we use the hover, run over traps, run over slows, immunes to roots, and this vile curse upon vile curse upon vile curse. And if they're really, really low, this is basically like a laser that just shoots from your staff that finishes them off. Try this build out. If you have any questions, though, leave them in the comment section below. Or better yet, join us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Brimstone.
GG. I think you can run that out. GG, sir. 600k?
Why book?
Oh no, that got purged too. Rip. Rip, sir. GG.
Yo, that's 500k. Wait, what? Every day.
Aha! GG, sir. Did not work, boys. Did not work. I repeat, it did not work. Ah ha ha! Let's go! It worked! I kind of want to fully commit though.
What?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! GG, sir. I think that counts. Oof. That's rough. Yeah.
It's wild.